down and I'll bring my stuff down. I'll go down and just sit in the shell. But
if you want, they probably don't trust me more than anybody else here.
Or no, it's like gin and juice or something. And they're driving down a car.
they got to know that's why we're here anyway.
So
Yeah.
I thought it was
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
wrong with sorry.
Well, they don't trust any of us, so.
They can't afford to. They just
Yeah.
can't afford to.
Yeah, I know.
I'll come out of stealth then and I'll start walking down the stairs.
Be right back.
Not where we're at anyway. They can't afford to.
Thank you.
I could take that one.
Yeah. This is what, third crusade? Yeah, this isn't their first rodeo, so.
So who's first downstairs?
I am.
Okay. You come downstairs. Roland
Yeah, I came out
says,
of stealth before I came downstairs.
you had before. That's why I was saying I see you come downstairs.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Oh. Interesting. I didn't know you had joined their group. Gojin, I believe you are.
Yes. Yeah,
Your
tell me
deeds are
about
known
that.
to me. You are walking with Sorrel, so I would assume you've recanted your ways.
Yeah, I'm no longer walk the path of the dark, as you would say, and I'm no longer with the syndicate. In fact, they're hunting me, so.
Welcome
So
to
you
Vigil.
know. Thank you. Here's my things. Everything.
You
I lay 'em
see,
down.
you see a half-elf female step over. She says, "Do I have your permission to scan you?"
Yes.
You see her incantate as her eyes turn rainbow colors.
Cool.
You've seen Sorrel do this before as well. He's called it Arcane Sight.
Yeah, I don't have any of those magic things.
You're left with, do you have a masterwork dagger?
Let me look real quick.
Otherwise, I would say you're just in your, if you have noted on your character's an adventurer's outfit, you're just in that clothing. Or a cold weather suit. I'm not sure which one you guys have. If you have them noted on your character.
I have my even-handed Synod outfit.
Yeah, I don't have.
That's a toga over a bug shell, right?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
I don't have a magic dagger. I took the sap of disruption instead.
Oh, okay. So, takes that.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
they
right.
got it. I got everything written down. They got it.
Okay.
Magic and all my armor. I took it all off. And put
Okay. You do see that there is a shimmering chest now on the ground when you guys came downstairs, and it is 12 foot by 12 foot. And they're putting the stuff in the chest.
Hey, kitty, look.
She just walked out of the room. I'll tell her when she comes in. Next down the stairs.
I think it's me and Sorrel.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Tim, you take up the entire stairway going down, so it's not side by side. So which one's
okay.
first? Which
Yeah, we're
one's
not going
first?
down.
So Gojin gave up all of a sudden and said, "Look, kitty!" I think that means he's naked too.
You said what?
Sorrel's first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll go first.
Okay.
He's got the big one.
You take off everything.
Yeah.
And then hand over the staff.
Yep.
As you hand it over,
Yep.
you feel your eldritch energy leave you. Because it's
Yep.
not in your possession. Okay. Sir Roland looks at you and says, "I am very sorry for that, Sorrel. Please seek out the marks and the tribunes so that we can get these things back to you very quickly. I would suggest that you seek out and speak immediately to Tribute Lena Homeset.
Sorry, so you got who? The
Tribute
Okay.
Lena Homeset. Or Tribute Vashili. That is the tribute of magic. She does more trade than magic. The other one also handles some of the farms from time to time. For your weapons back, please seek out Precentori Hydrini Masu. That's Hyrindi. You will find her at Watcher's Tor in the Crusaders War College. She teaches the classes on combat magic. They normally do live demonstration most regular days from early sunrise to noon lunch. After that, it's breaking out into individual study. If I remember her schedule right.
No.
So
You wanna
Roland,
be-
yeah,
Yeah.
we need to show you why we're here.
Please do.
Hand him the bag. It's a bag of holding.
Yep, I'm gonna hand him the bag of holding.
Are you going to let him touch
Or-
it, though?
We'll
I'm gonna-
open.
I
I'm
think
gonna open it.
the only one
Yeah.
so far I think's ever touched it is you, right, Sorrel?
Me and I think Darmus.
And I think we're the only two, just because we were perusing it.
Okay. Okay, he opens up the bag and brings out, show it to you guys again, for those that have not seen it. As you bring out the jar, he steps back. You have a bloodstone?
It's more than that, sir.
No, it's a bloodstone. I know what they look like.
Yeah, but it's
More than that, I
just-
do understand what it is.
We have more than the bloodstone.
You have more than one?
We have an altar.
Okay.
We have a jar, sir. We have a canopic jar.
That's the bloodstone, Tim. The
Oh, it is the
bloodstones of Azrani and a canopic jar are the same thing. The
Okay.
Knights of Ozum call them the bloodstones because she was the Red Queen.
Ah. Okay. Yes, this is the one of protection, we believe.
This is her heart, I believe.
Taking these things out in the middle of a bar.
Yes.
Yeah, in this town. As you guys bring the jar out, you can hear the haunting whispers coming from it as a kind of darkness overhangs the room and kind of like mutes all the color in the area as you bring it out.
I put her right back in.
Okay. Ho. Yes, that will have you accompanying us to Hydrani.
It's suppressed what's with the altar.
And this is why the Council Libertine is hunting you.
Yes.
We do believe so, yes.
We figured it was something, but we dared not think you actually had a bloodstone. Okay. Oh. He sits down a second, takes a drink on that one.
We knew this would be the best place to find out about them.
You see him look over to her, the Saphirian commander, and he goes, "You need to communicate with the rest of your group that this has arrived in town." I've already started doing that. Thank you. I'm receiving the response message. She is coming. Here's a good place? Absolutely. We understand the structure of this place. That's good enough then. Flash a light, rush of air. The bar over next to the, by the bar, it looks right next to a chair that is in pristine condition. You never really caught it before, but it does stand out now with the flash of light that's taking place. There is a really, really comfortable looking bar stool at the side of this bar that you just noticed now. As you see appear a female, I'll give you guys a picture versus me hacking it up with a description. Even though my descriptions are really good. I'm just saying. You see a half-elven female with black hair, wearing a tight black outfit with a robe that or a cloak that kind of flows over the back. Her hood is up. You see her appear as a small white owl flies off and hovers over towards the top of the chandelier and then lands. I can get roll 20. That's who you see appear. You see her take 2 steps, and as she does, you see her incantate, and you watch what looks like diamond dust flitter from her glove as the walls around the room begin to glow and shimmer, as you watch what looks like a energy barrier appear for a second and then vanish. Anybody that's got a spellcraft over 17 knows she just did a cube of force, and she locked the whole room.
All right.
Sorrel. She's looking, you see her turn and look directly at you. She walks by Darmus. You brought a bloodstone to the city without acknowledging it or telling us first that it was coming?
I'm sorry, I'm not privy to your ways.
Oh. I'm sorry. I'm remembering now that Sir Dak is hospitalized and he is at the Citadel. He is normally our way of communicating with your group and what you've been doing.
Yes.
With Sir Dak laid up and in a coma, we're not really sure what your exploits were after going into the vault. It was the pro-centaurs that allowed Sir Dak, who is one of our members, to go and help you. I don't know if you knew this.
Thank you for your help.
We had no idea that this was out there causing any damages. Can you bring it out of the bag, please?
Yes. Bring it up.
You bring it out of the bag. You guys watch it kind of darken the walls, and you can see the actual force cube you're in, because normally it's invisible. It's an invisible barrier around you. Once it's initiated, you see the kind of diamond dust go up in the air as it forms the 4 cube walls, and the energy whips through it and vanishes. Normally that's gone. But now you're seeing a dark shadow actually showing you the cube, as it looks like this faint dark energy with little faces in it's trying to get out of the room and area of itself. You watch her eyes turn rainbow color as well as she speaks a word, moves her fingers. And it's not magical. Right. She looks over to the Sephirin, and you see, as she looks over, she goes, they said they had an altar as well. I mentioned it in the sending. Yes. Yes. Altar. Purpose of the altar? Can I see that as well?
It's in the bag.
It's.
You bring it out of the portable hole as well?
Yes.
Yeah, the purpose is to shield this from any and all divination and scrying.
Ooh, dwarven design. This looks like a Kragradonian. I'm believing that would be Caliburton. It's craftsmanship.
It is.
I see that it takes an anti-magic shell casted at it and creates a vertical plane of energy for something to sit upon. So
Yes.
you cast the anti-magic shell, the 3 magical thaumaturgic circle and the enchantment circle work with each other to actually channel the magical energies into a vertical plane versus creating a sphere or a cube.
Your knowledge serves you well.
This has been found to deactivate the device? No. You guys know that it's caused it to not be locatable by find path. That's all that altar and shell do. They don't stop its magics. They don't turn it off. They make it non-findable by the spell find path. And you believe that's what the Council Libertine used to locate it, is find the path. They have an innate ability, probably given to them by Geb.
Yeah, All that should do is stop the council from finding it. We believe.
What does that mean, Sorrel? I need the arcane principles.
So does she want me to just say that it blocks Find Path?
Yeah, that's what you're thinking it does.
Okay. Yeah, we believe that this blocks Find Path at the
Ooh.
The Grave Knights have the innate ability, and that's how they seek these out and locate them.
Caliburton is truly, truly gifted. I would have never thought that powerful of a divine ability would be innately implanted within an undead creature. I've never heard of an undead creature having that ability before. So one would naturally assume they don't have it, and it was some other device that they used, or item.
They have
But-
unique ability.
Did it work?
This is relatively new to us. We haven't had this
you were-
altar for very long at all.
You did stay at Kragradan for about a little under a month,
Yeah.
and you
That's-
had no Council Libertine coming there.
That's true. I forgot we were there that long.
Yeah. Yeah, 40. It's 4707, my man.
Yeah.
You struck out on this wily quest in 30. What was it? 3996, 94. So 96. You've been on the road 9 years now since Karmaga.
Well, wait, weren't we in that forest for 10 years?
Actually, it was 3.
Oh,
was
3 years. Okay.
3 years. Yeah, the dark
We thought
blight
so.
with the Sithung seed in it, not only warp
Yeah.
dimension but warp time. And you guys thought you were in there for what was something like a month, but it turned out to be a year and a half or 3 years.
We thought it could be longer, but
Right.
What year did you say we started in?
You
Yeah,
guys
we thought
started
we were
at
there a week.
3996.
3996. Okay.
Yep.
we knew it could be up to like 10 years difference.
Right.
But we didn't have a pinpoint exactly how long.
No, but you did find out when you got back to Kragragan.
Yeah.
It's 47, what'd you
Oh,
say?
4707.
07. Okay.
707.
Yep.
So yeah, if you didn't show up there, then they probably won't show up here.
Yeah, that's why we were in Kragerden for about a month with it.
Okay. She looks at the Sir Roland. She says, "I believe you are currently doing a standard confiscation due to lack of marks of justice processing, right?" Roland goes, "Yes, ma'am." Then, can I say that this could be turned over to me at this time? You see him reaching behind his back and brings out a scroll case and whips out a part tube, brings out parchment, weeks behind the other side, brings out what looks like a black stick that's burnt on the end of it. He rolls out the scroll and he goes, "As long as you sign for it, lady." He goes, "Sorry, my lady." "Yeah, you can drop the my lady. I know you're filling in for Sir Dak, but still. But my lady, I need to have you sign this." "I will." She walks over and signs it. She goes, "I will take possession of this and we will get this placed appropriately and I'll place the spells upon it." "Does this altar do anything else?" It looks like he wove a type of low-level enchantment into the altar. You know he did. He actually put multiple extend versions in there. He put a ring of extension in there, a wand or a rod of extending spell extension, and then also meshed the spell itself in there too, creating the device that kind of amplifies the extension feat for spells, or extend feat, making the durations longer and longer on your spell. You think the duration amplification is at 6 times.
Okay. Yeah, I believe there's like a ring and a wand or something in there that do extend. And I think it multiplies
Oh,
or amplifies itself 6 times.
the non-quill that he put towards the top was blocking some of my arcane sight. That andamite is very hard to see through with magical means.
Yes, it's really quite a work.
Caliburton
will-
special.
I will take it, and I will I will set a couple on to the path of maintaining this for us. We'll put it in the vault.
Thank you.
You get a knowledge arcane on what she's calling a vault. You do too, Tim, in the room, and anybody else that's in the room.
Rolling. I'm not real good at that, but I can roll.
What was the roll again?
Roll what?
It is knowledge arcane on something called the vault. You can even do knowledge religion as well.
Oh,
Religion's
well,
lower than arcane. But you only get to choose one that you're rolling.
Alright, I think I know what she's talking about.
Yep. Anybody that makes higher than a 30, which is most everybody, the vault is actually inside the primary tower of the First Crusade, which is known as the Watcher's Tower, which was the tower Iome actually fought from. So while she was still a general in the Crusade, it was her tower, her command station. It was also one that was used and originally housed the body of Azarani when she came back. That is said to be inside the existing citadel, so which is the Overwatch Castle. So the Overwatch Castle, for everybody that doesn't know what it looks like, it has a total of 6 towers around it, and then 4 more towers inside that. And then inside the 4 towers is a central tower that rises up somewhere around 400 or 500 feet. Inside that tower is encased the original tower Iomea used when she fought as a living person on the plane before she became a god. And that is one of their holiest of sites. That is where the shield, the broken shards of the shield of Arnest are stored as well. So if you remember your history lessons right, at the Battle of the Whispering Tyrant, when the Whispering Tyrant went to slay Arnest, he had a shield given to him by Erodin, the god himself. The finger of death he tried to use on Arnest shattered the shield and caused it to explode, injuring the Whispering Tyrant but saving Arnest's life. The shattered shield, which was a shield created by the god Erodin and as a holy symbol to Iomea as well, is imprisoned inside that vault too. So the known fragments of the shield of Arnest are inside the vault as well, which is, the vault is a fancy name for the tower, the first tower.
Did you, are we going to relay to the lady here what we came here to do with that?
Yes.
Coming from the religious side, we seek a scroll of atonement penned by a priest of Erodin. Or a priest of Erodin to cast atonement.
You would have to search the vaults. You will need a sword symbol and a shield symbol to get access to the vaults. Or be a known high-level clerical member or paladin of Iomea.
Now we know what path we must go. Thank you.
She says, I don't know if you understand what you're asking about, though.
Not being a priest of...
Then allow me to explain. The vault is an extra-dimensional pocket that was created when Iomea rose and ascended to the heavens. Her tower became almost infinitely deep by almost infinitely tall, even though it's contained within the Watcher's Tower. We have collected information, reports, odd items, the etc., and filled this extra-dimensional space with those things. So if one can imagine a room that seems to go on forever, stacked high with boxes, paper, loosely about. If you're looking for a system of filing for those, in the 1,000 years it's existed, no one has ever tried. So for those of you who remember reading Lord of the Rings and the description of Gandalf trying to find information on the One Ring, and the years he spent inside Minas Tirith trying to do it, and then couple that with the image of Harry Potter's attics at Hogwarts, you guys get an idea of what the fucking vault looks like. And that's where you need to find your information from. And that's why this is not going to be done in a day, an hour, a week, or a month.
True.
It'll take us all a long time.
When we get ready to do the rolls, I will have you roll several 10-sided dice. I will
That'd
have you
be
roll a
yours.
20-sided dice. One will subtract from the other, and one will multiply the other. And they are months and years. And there is a possibility of subtraction by your own research skill check. That will go against it. So I'll roll the dice and know how long it takes. And then you guys will do yours, and by the dice I roll, I'll be amplifying the amount of time you get for your roll. So let's say you guys got a diplomacy check because you're actually trying to gather information, really, is what you're trying to do here. Take a diplomacy check, doing to gather information, take that times your level, and say that is the amount of time in weeks and or months I will shave off the other roll. But you won't know what the other roll is. That way, at any point in time, you guys can give up. Welcome to the DM's love of, well, it could just take a while, guys, and I don't tell you what a while is.
Well, when you're done with everything you can do in town,
Which means this for your group. By what she just described, Sorrel, Darmus, Gojan, Kitty, who's hearing it upstairs, and Econoba, you're talking about becoming residents of this place. Because it could be months or years, and going around without these marks are not going to give you the access to do the research you need to do. So,
it's just another.
I just wanted to give you guys that realization for a moment. Now we're going to continue the rest of it. She turns around, looks at it, and she says, come to the Watcher's Tour, and we can talk more, Sorrel, about your access to the vault. I will speak with Empress as well, because we do need to address the fact that is she staying or is she not as well, because she needs these marks, but she's not with you at this time. Do you have any other artifacts I need to take from you at this time? From any of your other agents that may be upstairs? If you do, please tell me now so I can put them into this bag of holding where this altar is going to go back into with the jar.
Downstairs when you guys started talking.
Right,
It's just the bug was in the way.
right.
Then apply to our group.
Hold on, that's not true.
Well, Kitty LeBang has some, but she's exempt.
Not with everything.
She asked
But I'm not-
artifacts.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Maybe a different
but I'm not-
classification than magical item.
I'll wait until you guys filter out and I'll talk to her.
They can't. You're all in a cube of 4. You're all locked in the same area until this chick leaves.
Oh,
But
okay,
it's-
well.
Nothing's
not
getting in
saying
or
anything.
out
That's
without
up
a
to
disintegrate
Can I
spell.
be sitting on the stairs then?
No,
throwing pebbles?
I'll say, yeah,
No, you're in the area.
we do have some other items that should go with you.
What would they be?
My knickers! Shakes the skirt.
Are you bringing out your artifacts that you need to hand over?
Yes.
Okay, so
A little grumbly.
Kitty, out of her bag of holding, brings out a dragon bone bow, which seems to be made out of the bones of a dragon that glows with a weird kind of bluish green flame. Sets it down.
Nope, I hand it to her.
Okay.
And she sets it down.
She puts it into the bag of holding.
And then I pick it back up. Give it back to her.
There's something you can't give up. If you do, you give it to her.
The eyeball.
Yup. What do you...
Yeah, can't give up the eye.
Well, the eye's not actually on this plane of existence at this moment until she calls it. Remember how it would vanish?
So,
Yeah.
she's digging through her bag and she pulls out
Okay.
a
Little
dragon
report.
eyeball.
That's not an artifact. You don't got to bring that up. The only artifacts
Staff.
you had...
Coinage.
No, the only artifact you had,
A
you're being
coffee
funny
cup.
now. A coffee cup. She's like, please, Kitty, stop. You're emptying your purse. You're emptying your purse. Stop, 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 stop.
I think I got some candles in there too.
The only thing I think I see is this bow. So we'll put
Oh,
the bow in the
okay.
bag. So she puts your legendary artifact dragon bone bow into her bag.
I want that back.
We want to give it back to you too. If you would like, please have the venture captain send a writ, and we will transfer it over to her archive, and then it'll be closer to you if you need it. Okay?
Okay.
We just want to make sure there's no latent evil magics on it that could cause other problems. We're going to do our best to check these things out.
Okay. give her the other eyeball?
No, that's just a magic item. Crystal ball. No, that's just your crystal ball.
No, the magic eyeball that...
That eyeball is out of existence until you call the eye to your hand.
Does she want it?
She doesn't know about it. Nobody knows about it. And if you give it up, you can never take it back. You can never give it back to Sorrel without it killing him. So
Okay.
you give it up, it becomes hers forever. You don't get it back.
Okay, well,
Are
I'm
you
not gonna
giving
tell
it back to her?
No.
Okay.
I'll put it
That's
back
why I'm asking, and she's not noting it, so.
Put it back in my coin purse.
Okay.
Fuck you guys. Sorry to the day.
All right. Anybody else have artifacts that I'm unaware of? Which is none of you. I think I broke yours, didn't I, Tim?
No, I gave it up to the son of that elemental guy.
That's right. That's right. That's right. You did give it up to him. All right. I think that is it then. And Whip doesn't have any. So at that, she folds the corners of the hole into a small 1-inch square cloth, looks at you and says, "Thank you, Sorrel," snaps her finger as you watch the shimmering disappear.
I'll currently bow to her. Yep.
She says, "Melakurian Habatha," and vanishes.
I'm surprised she didn't say thank you for the donation. I thought it was funny.
So Roland says, "Sorry, guys. This is one of my first big adventuring parties I've had to do like this. Normally, Sordak handles." And he kind of tails off when he says Sordak. You hear he's
I was
kind of choked up, and he says, "Usually Sordak handles these things. He has more political flair."
You're doing fine.
He proceeds to scan the rest of you guys' gear. If you want, from this point forward in your character sheets, if you want to just unallocate your equipment on your equipment page, that would help. That kind of lets you know where you're at. Also, for those that don't like the sheet has too much stuff on it, I did come across something the other day. And I don't know if this will help players or not. When you're in your character sheet tab, if you look up at the top corner, the top right hand corner, you will see something that says edit mode or compact mode.
Yep.
If you have it in compact mode, there is less shit on your character sheet. A lot less stuff. The pages are very short, very defined, not a whole lot of stuff and clutter all over the place. Maybe an easier sheet for some to use. Do you see where that's at, Brian?
No, where is it?
Okay, when you open up your character and you're on your character sheet, right?
Yeah, I got my character.
Okay, look right underneath. You got the show. You got the right hand corner top where you got the X and you can close it at. Right underneath that is a word. It may say edit mode.
Compact.
If you click on that word, it'll change to compact mode and make everything shorter. Make it crunched in, and only the things that you need to look at are there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't see the button. I've got them on my skills.
No, that's it.
So I'm going to have to get out of this and probably put it back up again. So I don't know why sometimes that does that.
Almost look where his name is and straight across.
Yeah, look where your name is and go straight across.
Oh my. Pulling back.
Right above your level.
Hang on, I gotta pull the character back out. I had to shut it because it wasn't pulling up. I couldn't do anything with it. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Okay, and you're talking about the two boxes to the left of the name?
Nope. If you look where your name's at and go straight over, in that corner you'll see it says edit mode or compact mode, just like a writing up there, not necessarily a button. It's like somebody wrote in the corner.
Oh, yeah, edit. Gotcha.
Now click on that word edit, and
Okay.
you'll see it changes the compact. Now click through core, defense, all the other things, and you'll see.
IO info? Is that what you mean?
Nope, I was just showing you that there's a more compact way you can look at the character sheet, making it easier to see the stuff. So there's there's less clutter to have to sort through to get at your stuff.
Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
That's all it
I see.
was. Because I was I was researching it, and I had Mux, the guy that played Mux, say that our sheet was complicated as well. And I kind of like was looking at it, and I'm like, but it's the same sheet he said he used. And then I realized from my notes of chatting with him, he didn't. He had it in edit mode, and he never changed it to compact mode. So
Edit mode shows you everything.
yeah, edit mode shows you everything and allows you to put your own scripts in there, which a lot of people don't want to do. So okay, so they collect the rest of the gear. They hand you a writ, Sorrel. They hand everybody a writ. You can write down for your characters in notes somewhere that you have a writ of weapons and armament that allows you to collect your gear. All you have to do is say that you're leaving.
Okay.
Instead of doing a whole role play of what's going to go on with it, the Seraphim Guard, Sapphire Guard, I keep doing that. The Sapphire Guard, she sits down with your group as you're all sitting at a table, and she says, so that you understand, both the North Gate and South Gate are connected to the Watcher's Tour through a portal network system. It's how we're easily able to get our cavalry directly out of the Citadel as needed, without having to ride through the streets with 1,000 horseback. We can also use that same network to get you your gear when you're wanting to leave. So, if you have to leave and it's in a hurry, hit one of the gates and tell the watchers at the gate you need your equipment and turn in the writ, and you'll have it within a minute. I know a minute can be a long time, but it's a lot shorter time than walking across town and getting to the Watcher's Tour and then having to go through maybe 12 different gates and guards.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And she stands up. We serve the heart. She puts her hand on her chest. And she walks out after the other group's already left out. Sir Roland asked for his leave. You guys are sitting out at the bar. See the bartender come back in? Well, gee, you all some important people. I haven't had important people in here in a long time. Shit, free drinks. You got a whole bunch of commotion outside the building already. I'm going to be packed for days. And I got Kitty LeBang staying here. She could be at the legendary Playhouse, but she's staying in my establishment. I feel very special about myself today, I do.
Hey, what was your name again?
My name is Tinius.
Tinius, could I have one of those, what did that Roland say, orange juice?
Yes, we got a shipment brought in by the last recruits that came in from Mwangi. And they brought with them several tons of these things called oranges. I think that's how it's pronounced, but that's what I'm calling them. Yes, and he showed me you do this, and he brings out this big round orange thing. He cuts it in half, and you see him take his hands and he squishes it into a pint. And you see all kinds of stuff just kind of drop into the cup. He goes, it's called orange and juice. He slides it over.
Juice. Yeah, I'll take a big pull.
Well, that is sweet. It is rich. Oh, shit. It is citrusy. There you go. That is a flavor you have never tasted before, ever.
Oh, would this be good with dwarven spirits in it?
The higher alcohol content one, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You got any the good dwarven spirits?
Ooh, I have some 5 Kingdoms 3406.
Oh, will
So-
you have one with me with some of this? I think that would be
It's a little
great present.
pricey per short. It's a gold swigs, but if you want the bottle, it's a 50 gold piece. She's really expensive. Oh, she got the kick, son. Woohoo! She got the kick.
How much was it for the bottle?
50 gold pieces.
Okay. I mark it off.
He goes into the back. He's gone for a second. Comes back out with this really dusty bottle. It's really dirty, but it's actually put in crafted granite. And the base or the jar that it's in is in a granite kind of like cylindrical jar that comes up to the top to a square lid that looks like a dwarven face. And you notice on the front side of it, the kind of base has been carved to look like a beard, and on the side are what looks like shoulders for a dwarven upper bust. Says, I think this is Dane the Force stock. Could be pretty good. I don't know. The last one I tried was a little younger than this, and I was out for a while. Something about had to get out of jail for running naked through the streets kind of thing.
Well, let's try just a drop or two first, and we'll see.
He gets you a little shot glass. He gets you a dwarven shot glass, which is a small one.
Okay.
Take a drink. Do a fort save.
A fort
Yeah.
save. Oh, no.
This makes doors fly.
God damn it. Here we go again.
So I have my own rules for inebriation. What you're going to do is buy the alcohol. It'll do 6-sided dice's worth of constitution damage to you. It is not actual damage to your constitution. It is basically kind of like, look at it as non-lethal damage. So it'll go away easily tomorrow. All of it will be. If somebody hit him with a cure light wound, it would remove most of the damage too. But what it does is when you get to half of your constitution, you can't walk. When you get to 3/4 of your constitution, you're usually ill and vomiting if you're able to walk. So the first quarter is quite drunk and giddy. So you made your save, so it normally does 2d6. So I will roll that for you, and it did 12. Damn! That's some good shit. Whoa! You saved for half and took 6, and you're like, woo, that's got a kick. You guys watch his beard curl a little bit, and then relax.
Hey, anybody who wants some of this who's here, get in on this.
Oh, by the way, his eyebrows curled a little bit too, and then relaxed back out. Woo-hoo. See a little smoke come out of his mouth. You all smell a really deep earthen smell like you were going into Narvath. You remember how deep that smell was? You hear it, you just smell that as he exhales it. Oh.
I can honestly say I've never had a bottle like this, AA.
Okay. You want me to bring you all some breakfasts? Slaps his hand. Cookie. Let's get us some potato cakes, some bacon, and why don't you bring out one of those little sausage things you started making after the last entertainer came to town? Oh, yeah. I got that. You see a little head poke out from the back? What you see is a half-elf, no hair, has like little green eyebrows, though, and bright lavender eyes. You think he's probably something like, maybe 6.5 foot tall. You're not sure where he's from. You've not seen an elf like that before. He goes, yeah, I got that. Right on it, boss.
Oh, yeah, the big guy likes mushrooms. You got any?
We have a fresh supply from the Narvoth brought in, too. So we do have some chunky fungi. Do you want them? Do you want them with or without worms, sir?
Oh, without.
Okay.
You guys eat worms?
If I want to show someone something, what kind of knowledge skills I have?
It depends on what you're trying to show them. I don't know.
Alchemy.
Oh, that is for you. It would be knowledge arcane. Oh, easy. What are you wanting to do?
Show them how to make pancakes.
Ooh, you'd have to create that recipe formula.
Oh, it would be a spell.
No, it would be actually an alchemical concoction in a way, because you'd have to actually research it and make it.
Yeah, like
because no one has that yet.
Like knowledge nature.
It's like saying I want to make a gun. It takes research. Or I want this spell. I want to do a magic missile spell.
Wouldn't it be like hunting in the field? It's paleo.
No, darn. So breakfast is served to you guys about half hour later. But a lot of plates are brought out. The barkeep, since it's really early in the morning, he doesn't really have but one other patron in the room.
He's been there since last night.
No, it's funny too. It's like a 13-year-old kid who's just like, he's slamming the shit down, man.
Well, I've only seen one other
Human,
person
too.
eat food that fast, and that was my mother, and she was something special. Get a look out of him.
Nope. He's actually drinking alcohol. He's not eating any food. He's on maybe his sixth tankard.
Well,
That
has he
young
tried
man
some
is
of
going
this-
to town.
Has he tried some of this dwarven shit yet?
No, he's kept to himself over there in the corner.
Nope.
He was asked to leave while you guys did your stuff, but he came back in after all the guards left.
I'm keeping an eye on him, as
Okay.
blurry as it is.
Okay, a few other people enter the bar about mid-morning. Looks like 4 farmers, 2 of which are halflings. One of them is a human. The other one is a half-elf. Not sure. It sounds, from the little bit of scant conversation you're picking up, it's like they did a night shift tending to the utensils. So the night shift actually fixes the farm implements from the prior day that got damaged, and they're part of that crew. And they're just off shift and they're having a drink. None of them seem to be wearing any of the wristbands or hand augments that show that they're married. So, you being the person you are, Gojan, you notice that they most likely have back at their homes no more than 2 gold pieces each. And that's probably the sum of their last month's pay. They are not good marks for anything.
No, I'm not going to be stealing from him.
Oh no, I'm just
Anybody
saying
here.
that's your eye, dude. You can't help it. Your line
I
of
know.
business. You just scanned them. So,
That's why I went into stealth mode, man. You got to keep those skills honed.
you.
All right, I yield the floor to somebody else. I'm going to be drinking for a while.
Do you have any more drinks of your dwarven spirit?
What's that?
Are you having any more drinks of your dwarven spirit?
No, man, I got to stay awake for a while.
Okay, so note yourself at 6 Constitution damage, and that will you'll regain that 1 per hour, not drinking.
Jesus.
6 con damage. Gotcha.
And you can count yourself as damn well tipsy, my man. World's got a sparkle to it, man. Who spilled all the glitter? Who spilled all the glitter?
Damn tipsy.
All right. So barkeep, as other people come in, you notice he goes, well, thank you for eating breakfast with me. You guys got a little bit of his background. He's been a person that's lived in Lastwall for quite some times. He did mention about like 7 months ago, there were some orcs from Belkson that did make it this far, but they never made it to the city. He heard their conflict going on outside, but the siege engines on top of the battlements handled it fairly easily. He asked you guys if you guys are going to be actually going to be stationed either here in Vigil, or if you guys are going to be stationed out at Castle Ferrin or Castle Everstand, if you guys are going to be out in those areas. Or were you just passing through to like Velenus?
Not
Well,
really sure yet.
Yeah.
we came here to do the research, so
We haven't decided on how long, but we'll be here a while.
Okay, so you want me to hold your rooms for the rest of the week?
I mind for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your rooms are because they're nicer suites with bigger areas for your stuff, and since Tim's larger. Tim, your room is 2 gold pieces a night. Everybody else's rooms are 1 gold piece a night. There are cheaper establishments if you need them. I don't think you guys do, but there are cheaper establishments. You're staying at their version of a Ritz-Carlton. Also, you need to let me know, you're allowing winches to clean rooms? And did any of you have any mounts that you needed to check? I didn't think any of you brought any.
No.
But I wanted to double check.
yeah, my room can be cleaned, and no, I don't have a mount.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sure mine will take more, but
Figure
Yeah,
walks
no
into the bar. He is a half elf wearing what looks like a green leaf cloak that is folded back. He is wearing leather ornament that actually has what looks like andamite studs in it. He is wearing what is obviously a augmentational belt because the amount of gold thread, silver thread, and little what looks like onyx stones embedded in it as well. He has a cutlass on one side, but over his back is what looks like a compound bow made out of gold and andamite with a mithril thread. He is wearing what looks like green feathered boots, and he is wearing gloves and gauntlets that come halfway up his forearms that have what looks like light green glowing sigils in them that faintly pulsate every once in a while.
Ooh, shiny.
You see as he walks in, the farmers stand up. You see one of the farmers turn around and, we're off our work duty. Oh, you see the half-elf go, guys, stop with that shit. Yes, Plorkans. You see him walk over to the table and sat down next to Akvanova. Hello, my Ustalavian friend.
Hello. Sorry, been drinking a little.
He goes, I am here to talk to your friend Akvanovas.
Who?
Whip's character.
Oh, Akavas.
Is that how
he's
it's
right
pronounced?
over there. Are you in the bar?
Yeah, I'm in the bar.
Okay, he's right over there.
Well, he sat down right next to him because you were all at a big, large table.
Well, and I told you I've been drinking.
I am here to talk to you about your father. And your heritage is known to us.
My father?
Why is a monk from Ustalav and a prince from Ustalav in Lastwall? I would like to know what your business is. I have not seen you on any of the charters or reports that passed my desk about the heroes of Naramathus. So I would imagine you are a recent acquire to the troop?
Yes, I was fortunate enough to run into these companions, and they rescued me from a dire situation. And I felt that I owed them my allegiance once they told me what their mission was and for saving my life. I bound myself to that mission in lieu of the debt that I owe them.
So then you are only in service to pay back a debt? And then
Well, then it has since become a bit more as I've got. Initially, that is true. But since then, has become more of a thing of honor to me. I've seen how they work together as companions, and I have not had such feeling of friendship and depth in quite some time. And I find myself won over by their charisma and their camaraderie.
Well put.
you see him reach into the folds of his leather, and he sets down a small gem on the table that begins to glow with a kind of reddish green glow. He says, I need to ask you a very direct question.
Yes.
Being a Damphia from Ustalav, I need to know if you are an agent or working for the Countess Zenita Valasor. Yes or no? Answer only, please.
No.
See the pulse? You see the green? or the red glow in it come out a little bit, and then as you answer it, you watch the crackling energy in it suck back down into the stone, and it goes dark. He looks
I
deeply
feel that
at
I
you
have
for a
passed
moment.
feel I have passed some test.
Absolutely. You must understand. My forces go out and constantly watch not only for the orcs of Belkson, but whatever happens over by the Gallows Spire and Ustalav and what's been going on there, especially with those that have sided with the Nakatorine and against the Witch King, are of great concern to us. And I know you are a monk from the Veiled Hand. I could get that. I know most of those monks are silent, yet you're speaking with me. So you do not follow their orders, tenets. And I do know that orders, tenets is quite evil. For one, the stone told me that you weren't evil, and for two, told me that you're not lying to me. Had it showed anything else, there would have been bloodshed in here, and you would not be the first veiled monk I had ever fought.
The
raids
in
we have
in my younger days, I found interest in their tenets, but as I grew in my power and my understanding, I diverted from their teachings.
I am glad. We have been plagued by the Moray. They have been feeding on our horse stock at the Dortrot Ranch, and I was wanting to make sure that you were not one of the kindred of the Moray that had come here to seek even greater feeding grounds. I respect those who you travel with, and their accomplishments speak for themselves. They have been champions of the meek, and I do not expect you to hold up that type of tenet.
I do.
But I do want you to know, the penalty for fighting with weapons unlicensed, like your hands, in this town, is death or exile. Since you are Damphir, the courts would probably register more towards the destruction sentence. Control yourself, control your hands. I know you're quite capable of doing that.
I completely understand.
Your hands, your feet, and your head cannot be used in any fight. So I'm sorry, while you're in town until you get either the marks, you just have to suck it up and take it, son. And unfortunately, there's a lot of prejudice out there because there's a lot of casualties from the Mori attacks from Ustalav. And their families are here. Families that were ripped apart by the Moris. Husbands who came back critically wounded because of encounters with Moray. And you know what I mean.
I know the death and destruction that my father's kindred bring upon families. It's something that I strive to defeat.
As long as we both... it's one of the printers kicked that thing out and it fell on the floor. Then we know where we stand. I am Presentatore Kenyan Saval. I handle scouting and intrigue items within Vigil. I'm addressing you directly because I understand your skill at arms. You're walking with them and they're not carrying you. So I understand the skill of the individuals about you. I take not lightly those that have walked in the halls of a Galstag, or defeated a blight, or ended a war that was filled with storm giants and harpies and tens of thousands of hobgoblins and dragons. So I know you're capable of a lot. We could use your assistance if you're staying. There is not the Moray, but you know the war with the Whispering Tyrant not only destroyed parts of Ustalav, but the areas around the Deadlands and the Gallows Spires, the hordes of undead that still flow from there. We have to defend against it, our castles and outposts. If you have the time and want to keep your skills honed, we would be honored to have you fight along our crusaders out there for whatever duration you could take away or from your time. I ask you to not make a decision. If you do, all you need to do is go to one of the tributes or come to myself. I stay at the Watcher's Tor when I'm in town. I'm always in town the first 3 weeks of every month. The last week I have to hit the fields. I have to collect information. It's a pleasure meeting you. He outstretches his hand.
I will shake his hand.
I look forward to fighting the hordes against whatever may come for Vigil's light, grace, and duty. Thank you. May I shine on you. He stops it for a second and goes, cocks his head sideways as he walks out the door. Saying light shining on a damn fear's got a little twist to it, but, he already said it. And he walks out. After he leaves, you see the farmers go back to eating and drinking and talking amongst themselves. They were just like intently staring at your table. And they're still intently staring at the 8.5 foot tall trucks.
It's all right.
And Kitty's giggling because her voice is a weapon.
Yeah.
Nobody checks her shit at the door.
So one of the half elves from the other table walk over, go, "Sir, Mr. Big Sir, do you speak English? Taran?"
So he's talking to me.
Yes.
I speak common, sir.
I got a wager with my pals. I got 15 copper on this one, so it's a big bet. Are you a Thrykeen?
I am not a Thrykeen.
Shit! I lost! Motherfuckers! God damn it! You see the one back there? Thykeens don't. They got more arms, man. You see the halfling going, "You thought he was a Thykeen? Oh my god." Shit. He walks back. "Thanks, man." Fuck. He gets halfway
What
back.
about-
He goes, "Sure, I couldn't give you 5 copper to say you're a Thykeen?"
I'll give a gold to whoever can name what I am.
Ooh. I will roll that for them. They can use the fucking gold.
Now remember, only 2 large arms. The rest are for tickling.
No. Not a fucking clue. Bartender goes, "Can I get in on that?" He smiles.
Well, come and sure, you already know the answer.
No, actually, he's going to roll it. You're an Umber Hulk! Told you, boys!
No,
Oh,
not a number hole.
damn, I didn't win the gold either. He goes back to polishing cups. Can't have it all, I guess.
I'll just flip the gold onto the table with all those gentlemen sitting there. It's called a Trox. 2 X's.
Rocks. Cool.
Are you sure it's spelled with 2 X's? You are a big dumb butter.
She does know your intelligence score. You did work at the you did work at the Lexington in Carmaga as a bouncer. So yeah, that was a thing, right, man?
Yeah. I don't know how to spell Trox.
Warp. No, you spelled it wrong. That's the funny part. Yeah, 2 X's. Those go over your eyes, motherfuckers. Okay. You guys finish eating. At that, it is yours to control the floor now. You've been given some tributes names. If you need more tributes names, you can do a gather information by talking to people. The bar has gotten to about 20% capacity, which for this bar in is 100 people.
I'm gonna go up to the bartender and ask where the
I say we gotta get them. Do anything. We gotta get these monarchs.
fuck are they called? Pathfinders.
Oh, you need to go over to the Pathfinder Lodge?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I'm sneaking out to.
Scroll your map down. I left the names of the buildings on here because most everybody's got knowledge. Those that have a knowledge local over a 10, these are reputed places of vigil. So I'm just giving you those versus making everybody do every minutia little roll to figure out where they're at, you know? All I need to know is, are you guys going together?
I like to sneak out on my own. You know, everybody's laughing at Dharma's. Sneak
Okay.
out the door.
I'm just going with Sorrel's.
And nowhere does this say Pathfinder.
Yeah, it actually does.
Well, I thought I wrote it down, but that was for Sorrel.
I thought I put the Pathfinder's Guild on here.
Pathfinder's Guild. That's why I asked
Adventure
if it was a
Captain's Lodge.
secret location.
Adventurers Guild.
How was that Pathfinders?
Because adventurers.
Now you're just making shit up.
No, I'm not.
Okay, yeah, I'll go over there.
Okay. For
It's just
those that
how-
would like some information,
Seems how our gear's gone. If Sorrel could
Here
be, like,
is the
used,
city
like,
you're in.
Non-detecting.
so the buildings that are shown on your map aren't the only buildings in town. Those are the larger ones. There are smaller buildings around them. This is a city of probably about 10,000. It's one of the biggest cities you've been in next to Kermaga.
Cool.
Any of you that take out to the street notices that the entire Watcher's Tour and the Overwatch Castle and all the walls around you on all of the battlements are whitewashed. They glisten. At night, like when you looked out your windows last night, you noticed that the Overwatch Castle actually glows with a golden radiance that shines from the entire castle and that ripples off the walls, lighting all of the streets. There's no need for street lights because of the glow from the Overwatch Castle.
Ooh, shiny.
Cool.
For those that make knowledge religion check of a 20, they will know the following. The Overwatch Castle, when it glows with its radiant white glow, that light that it sends out over the town is treated to undead as daylight. It prevents undead from walking the streets as long as the castle is shining. But that's only at nights, because obviously daylight drowns it out during the day.
Cool.
For those that made a knowledge religion of 30 on the check, know that that's considered the heart of Iomea glowing in the darkness from the first castle or the first tower. So a lot of the party have been to a lot of weird places, but this is the city that Azerati walked through when she was a god, when she was helping fight the Whispering Tyrant, and Iomea walked through. So these are actually known locations gods have touched, visited personally, and fought wars at. So please take that into consideration. This is not Sandpoint.
What's a Sandpoint?
It's got a cipher gate. It's pretty badass. If you're a cypher mage. All right. I think what I'll do is I'm going to bring out characters for everybody, and then I will ask you. Well, let's do it like this. I'll kind of like go around. I'll start with Ikawad. What do you want to do for this day?
Probably try to get the forge started up.
You can't do that. You're not a citizen of the town, so you can't forge, create, build, own a building, or work a job inside the town until you're accepted by one of the tribunes. You're a visitor here, so think of yourself as a tourist. The best you can do is draw some pictures.
You said Ikawad, so I was going
Oh, sorry. I was going by Discord. Gojan, what's Gojan doing first?
Well, I guess I'll say to Sorrel, hey, Chief, and we're all expected to get these marks done so we can all carry our stuff around here. Is that what the plan is?
That's what it seems to be, yeah.
All right, then that's my goal. Then I'll just have Sorrel's back, man, and go to get these marks. if I can.
Okay, so you're sticking with Sorrel.
Yeah.
And then that leads me to Sorrel. What are you doing?
Well, first, before I go, okay. Did we meet with Serdak last time?
You went with Empress and saw that he was in a coma, and Empress stayed inside of the Cathedral of Santa Iomea to help with the other injured warriors from his platoon to see if she could overcome the resistance to the magical healing they have. And then also to tend the rest of some of the severely wounded that have been brought out of the field. The cathedral had an estimate of about 750 to almost 1,000 wounded soldiers. And from Sir Dak's company, there was only 150 left, and they were dying because their wounds resisted magical divine healing. But Empress was able to show that what it is it's a resistance to divine energy that focusing from a higher level caster like herself is able to overcome them at times. But even she was failing, so she was burning through her spells, trying to do minor curings and overcoming the resistance to healing that these have.
I'm gonna go try to find Sir Roland.
Okay. He would be at the Crusader War College. Anybody that's a Pro Centauri, they'll be there. They normally have jobs they do, and part of their jobs are instructing the lessers. You would figure that Sir Roland, if he's filling in for Sir Dak, would be cavalry. Okay, Whip, what are you doing?
Well, I can't go around unescorted. So,
Hang out with an angel.
Well, you just can't get in a fight without getting trialed. You can walk around and buy normal items and stuff like that. You might get a little persecution because you're walking the streets of a holy city of Tiomea as a Damphir. I mean, that's just flat out prejudice because these people fight vampires and you kind of look like one.
I think
Yes.
Sorrel should just have like a field trip day. Somebody's gonna fuck with a bunch of
So
guys who's walking around with an angel.
Oh yeah, that's true. So is everybody hiding under the angel's wings? Is that what I'm getting here? Should I just not ask everybody and just say, okay, well, you're all going to follow around with Sorrel because he's got angel wings in a holy city, so he's going to be like awed and gawked at, and you guys won't exist.
So I'm gonna go over and
I'm
hand
just going
Sorrel
because
a
that's he
clipboard.
wants us to get
It's got
the
everybody's
marks, and
name
he's
on
the
it with little
chief. So
checkboxes.
I'm just an Indian.
Okay. And then last for, not last actually, because I know, Kitty, you're going over to the Adventurers Guild, but are you
Yes.
going to guide the tour over there? Is that what
No. That's why I gave the clipboard to Sorrel.
Okay.
And it has all their names. Some of them are written backwards, like a little kid's handwriting,
Uh-huh.
and little check boxes in and out to make sure they all get on the bus.
She's
Yeah.
giving you that slate that Jessica gave her and a piece of chalk, and she's already written everybody's name down and went in and out and hands it to you and goes, I'm going to the Adventuring Guild.
Bye, guys. Have fun.
As she goes trotting her little cat fuzzy tail down the street. And you got literally a slate board with a piece of chalk and everybody's name on it. When you flip over the backside, it says, 1 case of juice box, please.
Ah,
Apple flavored.
There's the real message. Got it.
Since you're shopping, juice boxes.
Juice boxes! Hold my juice box. Okay. So, Tim, you're going to keep with the Angel Company and...
yeah.
Check
It's
the
just,
same
I mean, we got to get those marks. Is that where we spend our fame points to join?
You don't have to spend fame, but you can accelerate the process if you want to.
Gentlemen, that's not where I'm going right away. If you want to go and start there, I'm totally fine with that. I will catch up with you after. But you're free to come along with me as well if you want.
Okay, so where do you head first, Sorrel?
I'm headed to find Sir Roland.
Okay. So the company, except for Kitty, I am going to split the party.
Hoot.
It'd be like that dungeon we went into.
The party is going to be the entire group, but I'm just pulling Kitty out.
Okay.
Oh, Empress. Empress, I'm going to put where she's at.
Yeah, 'cause she's not there either.
Yeah, they're
Empress
fine.
is
They're fully geared.
now on the map. And Kitty's not. And Kitty's up there. Okay, hold on a second.
It's calling. I'll call
Okay.
her later.
Kitty is heading over to the Adventurers Guild. I'll put you over there. That travel takes you quite a while. About an hour and a half. Distances are accurate on this, so it's about, it's a little under quarter mile or so away. You guys head over to the Watcher's Tour. You make it down to what's considered Faith Row, which goes around Watcher's Tour. It's really amazing to see this castle, guys. I can't stretch that enough. The Watcher's Tour actually rises up itself about 60 feet, and then the castle walls are on top of that. Each tower has a siege engine on top of it. There are 3 catapults at the back, 2 trebuchets in the front, and then ballistas that constantly move down the wall itself. And you notice that there's an accompaniment of about 100 warriors that are always in attendance. These guys are guys in half plate and full plate, and then the engineers that run the individual machines. With them, you notice there are white-robed individuals that wear a chest. It looks like a chest plate, but you can tell it's really not. It's more of a kind of vest that they're wearing. They seem to be accompanying the engines as they're running, and you're believing those are siege mages. For those that don't know, there is a classification of a archetype wizard that handles only siege engines. He can enchant them, he can power them, and operate them. And some of his spells mimic the siege engines as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then like putting your fireball on the back of the catapult.
Yeah.
To enhance the catapult.
Or better yet, an ice storm and dropping that in the middle of them. Okay. You guys travel around to the front where you see what looks like a college, to no other description. It looks like a giant fortified college campus. You see out in front of where you're at right now are 2 towers. These 2 towers have about 50 guards in each one. You notice that they seem to be doing patrols around the building as well. You've come across 4 patrols. A patrol is standardly 10 cavalry on horseback, one of which is obviously a Sapphire Warrior or Sapphire Knight, which is their magical backup, and it looks like they have representation from Iomea as well, because there's usually like a barding, or sorry, more like a banded mail wearing individual that's with them that you're believing could possibly be a priest without scrutinizing them. So each company has 3 cavaliers, looks like 3 warriors, and then the other 3 are, or the other 4 are a priest, a cleric, and then maybe their backups. Okay, you see that as you get to the gate, you're stopped. You see a figure in full plate mail wearing what looks like a dented kind of chest plate. Scruffy little bit of a beard. Steps forward. Papers!
I'm sorry. What do I need?
What's your business inside of the Overwatch Castle? Angel?
I have a question to ask of Sir Roland.
Do you have a writ showing that Sir Roland has some of your property? Could I see your marks, please? Palms out? All of you, palms out?
Yeah.
You guys all palms out? Nothing
Yeah.
there.
Palms out.
We have these writs.
I will-
All our gear and stuff's on them.
Okay, are you wanting your items back or just to see Sir Roland?
Just to see Sir Roland.
Okay, at this point, if somebody wanted to spend some of their prestige points, they could.
Yeah, if we have to. It gets us in.
Yeah, it can get you in faster. Who's using some? You use your fame?
No, I use mine. Yeah.
Okay. Alright, bringing up fame. Pop it up for you guys in case you can't find it. I know I have a archive system in this game. Yes, I found instead of recreating the wheel every time, I actually just copy my campaigns over. This is a living world.
And prestige points.
Yeah. I gotta adjust your scores after winning the. After completing the Iron Kingdom
Initiate,
War.
yeah. Actually become initiates to a powerful organization. Well, isn't that where we're at?
Maris, you go to 95 points. I've got to change out. Okay, Darmus and Cyril, your prestige points went up by 50 as well, so you guys are at 99. Ickawad's went up as well, but Gojin got some of his actually for his deeds. Ickwad goes to 45. Empress is at 90.
How many can we use?
You can use as many as you want. If you read underneath it, there's a expenditure of the points. Like if you wanted to be a master of the trade, you could spend 4 prestige points. And using your influential contacts and merchantary experience, you can find good deals. Once per game session, you gain 10% discount on purchasing items. So you can use this, and it affects usually the entire session we're doing. Whereas I think... so you're wanting to get access to nobility. You're going for a privileged meeting, I believe. That is 2. You have to have at least a fame of 40. Okay?
Okay.
And privileged
Yeah.
meeting, it costs 2 prestige points. You use your reputation to gain privileged audience with a powerful individual, such as a queen, general, high priest, guild master. You gain a +2 circumstance on the diplomacy check during the duration of this audience as well.
Okay.
For everybody to go, you all need to spend the privileged meeting because each one's given the ability to meet with the individuals. It is a per person. Otherwise, it's the, he can go, you guys stay here for a minute.
Okay,
Oh, I'm spending it.
I got 45. I need to spend 2 for the meeting, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Only if you want to go.
Yeah, I do that.
Okay.
And see, the way this works is you spend your prestige points, your fame actually begins to drop a little bit, in a way.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're boasting your ability.
You're kind of using your, you know, you can use your name only so much. Let's put it that way, right?
Yeah.
It's called a favor. Yeah.
Yeah, you called in a favor,
You're-
basically.
Your past deeds only speaks for so long.
But I don't check these but weekly in campaign time. So it's not a daily thing. You're not going to daily drop down all of a sudden. You're, reviled by everybody, kind of thing.
Right.
The word's got to get out. Okay. Sorrel and Darmus both used 2, so 97. 97. Iconova, you're doing the same. You're at 45 after this. Are you using 2 of your prestige points as well? All right, you go down to 43. And I'm noting that in there. If you want to note them on your character, you can do that as well. Kitty is not doing that. She doesn't need to. So I've adjusted the points. Sorrel, you just lean forward and go, say your name. I am Sorrel. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. That's right. I was given word by Sorolin that if you should come, you were to be given, shown directly to him. If the rest of you is that, and you guys say your names, yes, okay. Follow me, please. And he looks at the other guards. I need 2, 4, 6 individuals to come with me. I need 3 others to take over this side of the watch. And he walks you up the ramp. You come into an amazing sight. Right inside the ramp, after you move up to here, you see these whitewashed buildings that spire up at least 20 to 30 feet and come to a point. You notice that they're actually reinforced with whitewashed bands of metal. Most likely for large creatures, should they be knocked out of the air or their flight ability taken away, they would literally be impaled on the buildings. So the buildings themselves are a weapon towards large creatures that fly. And that is why when I showed you the image, if you look at it again, of Vigil, it looks like a spearhead almost, with spears pointing to the sky. Because those are weapons. All of the buildings kind of have these points that come out of it. And even the buildings back in the towns have slight points as well, and you're kind of getting the gist why now. This is almost itself like a balisade. Neat idea for them. Okay, but in front of you in the courtyard, you see what looks like 10 lightly armored casters, and you see that they have target dummies against them, or in front of them, and you watch them doing magic missiles against them, and you're seeing other ones weave in. You see one of them begins incantating, and as he does, you watch the other 2 move into casting spells, which are lightning bolts, but you watch the lightning bolts catch fire. And instead of it being a lightning bolt, it's an arc of fire coming from them, as he's actually modifying the elemental magic around them as they're working in unison to fight against a creature. You see another one begin incantating as well, and it looks like he's getting ready to do what looks like a fireball, as you see another one begin moving his hands, and the fire actually whips out and becomes a green liquid as it's swirling through the air and explodes on him and begins eating away at the dummies themselves. And then you watch a figure walk around. You'd seen her just earlier, and you see her snap her hand. She goes, excellent elemental manipulation, but now you need to focus on studies. It is time for you to go in and research on Demon Dane and demons, so you understand their elemental resistances and which ones are weaker and which ones are greater. For our weekend study, we will actually be facing a Lemure, and I would like you to be prepared for that encounter. And you see them all bow in front of her. Yes, mistress. And they take off. You see her watch as you guys walk by, and he leads you around the corner where you see at the back side of the castle over here, you see a large building open. But the unusual thing about it is, as you're walking by, you notice the shimmering edges of the doorway to this building, which is 20 feet wide by 20 feet high. The building is only itself 40 by what looks like 60 long. It seems to open up into a green field. You've seen this before when Zaseka was with your group. He had a pocket dimension. And in his dimension, he had a hill that he had his wagons around for his trade. What you see out there is a grassland plain, and you see thousands of horses. And you see warriors moving and going about on armored horses, training and doing tracks of jousts back and forth. What looks like breakaway lances. You also see what looks like a stable whipping off to the side that goes almost off to the horizon. If you had to guess, there's several thousand horses inside there, along with several thousand warriors practicing and training, going through drills. You walk right past it to a small building. This is only 20 by 20, and it looks like more of an attached storage room to the building. And the door is open, and you see sitting at a modest wooden desk, Roland. Oh, please come in.
Thank you.
He goes, Sorrel, I'll offer you a seat. I only really have one chair. I'm not much for the fineries and all of those things. I don't need them.
I feel much the same.
Have you come for the mark? Is that what you've come to talk to me about?
Not quite yet. My apologies for taking your time. There's a couple questions about the city that I thought maybe you could help me with. As I learn more people, I will have to depend on you less.
Please, feel free.
My first question is would you accept the help from a cleric of Shayland?
Absolutely, Shayland is loved here as well. This is a city of Iomea, but Desney and Shayland are also. In fact, can you confirm a rumor for me? Are you one of the descendants of Roland, or somehow attached to him family-wise?
Yes.
Yes, Roland has been through here several times. I would be proud to have a sibling of Roland's working within the city. There are no formal clerical areas. If you would like to speak about it, believe it or not, there are small temples allowed outside the Cathedral of Santa Iomea.
Okay. Is practicing magic allowed in places or specific places within the city?
Only here at the War Council. The War College allows you to practice magic and use other magics. If you are given the sword or the shield by the mage tribune, we call her trade tribune, but the trade tribune can give you the ability to do mundane spells. If you register yourself with the Wizards Guild, any of your mundane abilities, tinsels, floating discs, those types of things that could help other citizens around town, you will be given a writ to carry around to do those things. But if you actually do get the shield, any of your armament and protective spells you will be allowed to cast while within the city limits. If you gain the sword mark, you'll be able to cast offensive spells as long as it is in defense of the meek, not hurting another life or sentient being within the area. And lethal force of magic is strictly prohibited unless warranted, but expect an inquiry once done.
I see. Thank you for the clarification.
Iomea has within their clergy a guild itself of investigators. They work closely with some inquisitors as well. So these things usually get sniffed out.
Well, I'll just say it and see maybe what we can do. I would like to do a sending to Roman, my cousin.
That can be performed for you at the Wizards Guild. Unfortunately, not being a citizen, prices can be quite high. But that's easily done. Or you can petition for special compensation, but that takes a while to get through the tribunes. Normally, the tribune meets once a week at one of the random tribune halls. They keep it rotating, so in cases of times of war, it's not easy to predict by attacking forces, and only the tribunes know what their schedule is. But each one is usually in attendance once a week or twice a week at their hall, listening to common affairs of their guild, per se.
Okay. Thank you for allowing me to ask these questions.
No, actually, allow me to help you. You see him stand up and walk to the door. He sees the rest of you guys outside. Ooh, you brought the full chorus.
No, mine is Kitty. They all wanted to come along.
Here's my field trip slip. Can you please check them off as they come in through the door?
Funny. You see him whistle real loud. I mean, that was fucking loud. That could have been heard across the battlefield. And you
All right,
see
then.
running from the other side of the portal door and around the backside of that building comes a young man. He's human, probably about 13 years old. He's wearing leg armament and bracers, but otherwise just breeches and a tunic kind of shirt.
Does he have tattoos?
Yeah, on either hand. And he comes running up, and he's got what looks like a short sword on his side in a scabbard. You see him run up, and he salutes. Yes, sir! He goes, Esquire Willem, I am now assigning you to Sorrel. You will be his city guide and page for the next week to get him used to the city and help the heroes of the Naramathas traverse our cities and our laws. They are complicated. I will be asking him how well of a service you did. Thank you, sir. I look forward to this opportunity. He turns around. I have heard of you, Sorrel the Angel, hero of Naramathas. You see him take our sword off his side and kneel before you. He goes, I give you my sword. In service, would you return it to me to be your willful protector for the next week? You're looking down at this 13-year-old boy that looks like a hobgoblin could bitch slap him into the grave. But you don't want to insult him.
No, and then we will not insult him. No.
Okay.
Give him the
Sword
pomp and
back.
circumstance required.
Yeah, you do. It's a 10 diplomacy, which all you guys want more than 10. All you have to do is hand him back his blade, and he'll put it back on his side and stand, which he does. He says, command me. I am your page. I will help you the best I can. He looks, should I return then on Watch It Downs Wednesday? He goes, yes, next Wednesday. Okay, sir.
Thank you, Sir Roland. Very
He says, he smiles at you and goes, now you don't have to bother me so much, right?
correct.
He looks back at his desk where there's a stack of about 1.5 feet high worth of just random scroll volume. Yeah, I've got to get back to Sir Dax's things.
Understand.
Turns around. Good luck, heroes. Unless there was other businesses you had with me.
No, not at the moment. Thank you.
Same true of the rest of you guys?
Can I get a comfier pillow?
I have a question.
Yes.
Not sure how long we're going to be here, and I might need to make some money for housing and things like that. Is there a way? What does it take to become get a business going here or get hired here in a business?
If you're looking,
I don't know what all things they're going to have to do to research, and it might be a while from what I understand.
if you're looking to set up a business, that would be the Tribunes, which I can't give you the shield mark, but the Tribunes could. If you're looking to first get a sword mark so you can carry weapons and things of that ilk for your own personal protection, which does add value for you getting your shield mark, that would be me. And for me to give you the shield mark, I would request that you spend a little time helping our troops out in the field, if you don't mind. And then at the end of that period of time, come back and I will have your ceremony of the mark arranged. That normally takes us a couple of weeks to do, which gives you time to go out and do some things for us in that meantime. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, is that all right, Sorrel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be doing it too.
Okay, you notice that there's a group coming out of the magical kind of like gateway for a second. Two riders do. They're on heavy war horse. They come riding towards Roland. He goes, he moves his hands to them and they stop for a second. Are there more of you seeking the mark of the sword then?
Yes.
Those that wish to take the mark of the sword. You see him snaps 2 times and you see only one of the riders come up like he knew exactly who he was talking to by his snaps. You see him go. You see the rider nod his head. Travel with this fellow. He'll get you a mount inside the stables. They'll be leaving out of the Sass Gate to actually go over to Castle Fernin. You will do a tour of 2 weeks at Fernin, helping fight off either the Belk orcs that are coming in or any of the undead armies that come from the Gravelands. You do 2 weeks worth of service and come back, you'll prove that you're worth, and you'll understand the plight we're fighting against so that you know why it is so important that you'll stand.
Yeah, I'd be glad to do that. Is there any chance I could get my sap?
This is where, sir, you chose your medal with what we provide.
Okay.
Because in the
That's fine, then.
unfortunately in the confines of war, we're not given the choice of what we get to choose as a weapon sometimes. It's whatever we can pick up. But you will be armed and equipped at Castle Famine. Okay?
Okay,
Is that okay to
somebody
you as
else
well?
Could use it, and it doesn't have to be me.
We would prefer not to damage your items, letting others use.
Okay. Understood.
If you wish to work on your Mark of the Sword, please follow Supergrade. Belgrade would take you.
We spend 50 points here too.
No, these won't help you do anything.
Good. Okay, because I need to become like an initiate in an organization.
Yeah, it won't bypass that, unfortunately, because this is actually a trial for an oath,
Okay.
which bears a magical seal, versus it just being like, hey, you're part of the Traders Guild. You paid the fees and you know the guy, you know. So both of you leave with Sir Belgrade. Sir Belgrade takes you back inside the magical stables. There you're both given riding horses. You do meet a group of 50 that are headed out there. You notice that they have a scarlet soldier with them as well. What they do is they get the 50 horses lined up. All of the other knights are ready to go. They ask you to mount up. For you, Tim, they actually have a giant monitor lizard for you to ride.
Oh, sweet.
You notice inside here they have hippogriffs, griffins, and unicorns as well. So they put you on the back of it. You watch the Scarlet Knight turn around and you watch her begin an incantation as you watch what looks like a giant magical circle appear around both of her hands that lock together into a giant figure 8. You watch her spin her hands to the right and then to the left as you watch what looks like the entire city whip by you through the doorway, and it locks on the south gate. As it does, you watch it zoom in and lock into place as you hear the knights blow the horn as everybody starts riding forward. As you do, you're coming out the south gate of the city, and you're riding down the south road. To sum up for you guys for a little bit, you guys take the day ride out there without any encounter whatsoever except for other patrols, and you get at this palisade-covered keep, if you want to call it that, with a small town inside. Hosts maybe 250 warriors. There are skeletal bodies all around the walls of this place, and there's also fields full of orc dead towards the west. And I mean, you can smell it. And you hear the trumpets already sounding as you see knights charge out towards the north, as you see what looks like 50 to 100 undead flowing out of a river bankment coming towards the castle itself, the tower itself, as they take to the fields. And you see them turn around and you hear 2 trumpet blares, and you see them point as you guys go off to meet with that other group. There is no chance of you guys really getting hurt during this, but you will be fighting undead and orcs usually 6 to 8 hours a day, every day for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
That's what they're facing. They're literally holding off hordes that come in. You get a day's break every once in a while, but sometimes in the middle of the night the horns start sounding. So it's get up, join your group. As you guys came in, that group that fought those left. They actually take your animals and they ride back, because most of this is on foot. The animals get overwhelmed. Inside the keep there's only 20 actual mounts, which are heavy war horses for the commanders. And that's what you guys are doing. You find to respect Belgrade and his decisions. He seems to really know this area. He can usually predict where the attacks are coming from, and he does ask both of you to set in on strategies about it. I am going to roll a percentage. You all see. If this is under 35%, there is actually a major encounter that you guys have to help him deal with. Nope. It is just literally over the period of the week, you guys fight about 440 undead and about a good 150 orcs.
Nice battle, man.
You do take some casualties. The lower rank men do fail. Tim, you're able to help some of them with your battle side curing because you're allowed to do whatever you can out here with your spells. No marks required.
Okay.
They explain that shit's only required in city proper by Witcher's Tor. Out here, you got it. You fucking use it. You better use it, right? So, okay.
Pretty much.
Those guys ride off. I'll set Tim and Brian. You guys are on pause now. If you want, we can call that the end of the session for you guys because it will be a while. We only got a half hour left to anyways, and then I'm going to deal with what's going on with the Kavanas and Sorrel and Kitty.
Okay. Could still listen in, or?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. No, I was just letting you guys know that I'm going to focus on what they're doing inside town for a moment.
Okay.
Which, if they get working on marks, might be the same for them too.
Cool.
2 hours later.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Going to Sorrel. You watch your comrades go in and you watch what looks like the magical portal around that vanish. And you see there is still a real stable in there, but it only houses a few very unique animals. There are 3 hippogriffs in there, and there's 1 unicorn, and you notice that there appears to be a griffin. And it's not wanting to attack the others. And you notice all of them have very familiar bits and bridles on them. Those are Marquef bits and bridles. You know them anywhere. You have seen those so close now. You spot the Marquef bridles of control. So they even have them here. And looking at them, those are a unique design you've seen before. You've seen the flare on the edge of those bits, the way they come back and look like little wings or horns. That is definitely an Icawad flare. You've seen that in the armor he builds. So Icawad selling these to Vigil.
You've been a busy little dwarf.
Well, you did see Varric in town, so you know he's been trying to set up trades, and you know Zeph's out there running his deals, dude.
Yeah.
Which leads me to roll a percentile. There is a 25% chance that Zephyrus is in town. He is not. Once a month I roll, by the by.
Okay.
Okay.
You mean Zashika?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Zashika, not Zephyrus. Zashika.
Okay.
Zashika and his magical caravan of trades and wares? Yep. Your ex-vigilante party member?
Yep.
The Blue Crusader. Okay, Roland goes back into his room if he has no more need of him. The guards are like, is there someone else you needed to see while we're within the War College?
I don't believe so.
Okay. He goes walking you guys out. 15% chance. No. Okay, you guys walk out. And you're shown back out here, and they wish you a very good day.
Thank you.
At that, I'll pause you guys for a second.
Okay.
Kitty, you head over to the Adventurers Guild, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay, you get to the outside of this building, and it's one of these, it's wood wrapped like a villa, like a long French villa in a sense, that kind of does an L shape on the block it's on. But when it gets to the top, it goes more of a Greco-Roman style on the upper floors, which arch up to these little points. Interesting choices. You wouldn't have done that. Doesn't really work for you. But either way, you see a stone stairway going up to a wooden door. It seems to be the only way in. Otherwise, it's got 20 or 30 windows on its 3 levels because it's 3 stories high. It is very colorful. You notice that the curtains are like reds and greens and blues, and don't really match too well, but are pretty.
Okay. So walk up the stairs and
Okay. The door's open. When you get up there, it's already ajar.
looks like walk in while
Yep.
you're knocking.
You walk in and you notice that there is books lining the entire hallway. You notice that there's a light shimmer to them. You see at the back there's a circular room and a 10-foot hallway or a 20-foot hallway you go down. It is 10 feet wide
Okay.
inside the door. All these bookshelves are lining that. In that round circular room in the middle seems to be a small hearth that's on top of a pedestal with a dome over it, flickering light all throughout it, and the bookshelves curve around that room as well. As you step into the door, you hear a light whistle, and then you see a twinkle of light at the back of the area by the fire pit as one of the bookshelves slides to the side, and you see a 3-foot tall, purple-haired girl with a wisp of a scarf around her head. She's wearing a red vest, no sleeves, really pretty bracers on. I mean, these things are gorgeous. They're just sparkling from 30 feet away. In that light, they're just sparkling. She's got curly-toed boots that come on that have little bells on them, just like Shisekas. In fact, they look like something Shiseka might have made.
Okay.
And then she's got what looks like a couple little wands stuck in her belt.
Okay.
And as soon as it goes open, she goes, "Oh my God, it's Kitty! I heard, rumor, you were in Kragrodan. You don't know me, but I've been following your works. I talked to Jakar long ago. Oh my God, the stuff you did, the writing about what happened underneath Janderhof in the halls of the Marquette, ooh, it kept me on my edge. Did you know you got published? Oh my, oh my, oh my, do you know that? You've been in the field so long. You're in volume 27. Oh my! They gave you a chapter called The Halls of the Marquise by Kitty LeBang. She runs down the aisle, she whips out a book as her fingers sparkle, and you see her rings dangle. She's got little chains coming off the rings. She pulls off the book. Right here, right here, right here! Can you sign my copy?
Yes. I'll pull my pen out.
Okay.
I'll sign it. And I'll be like, I got something for you.
What's that?
I pull out this tube full of parchment, but all the writing.
Another report?
All the writing's done in like glitter.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
You're turning this into me? Oh. Okay. Well, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's not stand out here. She snaps her fingers. Door shuts by itself. You guys wander down the hallway. She goes, okay, as we're walking back here, gotta do this. I am Venture Captain Inavi. You are Pathfinder Kitty LeBang. Welcome to the lodge. Do you need lodging while here?
That's
If you
really
accept lodging here, you have to help if the word comes down from the Decemvirate.
I will help regardless of where I stay.
Thank you for aligning yourself temporarily to Pathfinder Lodge in Vigil. We call this the White House.
Very nice. Very classy.
It's because they paint it white all the time.
It's the only thing that's
It had another name, but I didn't go for that. That was just bleh.
I understand that.
Grand Lodge of the Streets of the Red Queen, and it had a really long name, and I said no.
Is that why you do white? Is to appease from the bloody red queen?
To give hope. No, actually, it was a recommendation by Gunjo Valet, who was a Pathfinder about 250 years ago. Because of the fact that darkness is always being faced, it was believed that the white of the city would bring brightness to the lives of the individuals. And then I don't know if you know this, but whisper red roses grow around the Witcher's Tor.
Oh.
They grow once a week. They die off and then they grow back. That happens throughout a lot of the town. So there are red roses on the white walls. And that is Iomea telling us she knows we struggle.
It's very, very sweet.
Gods do as they do. The whitewashing was, I believe, also because of the failure of the Knights of Ozum in protecting Ezranti's body when it was brought here. Back then the city wasn't whitewashed. It was easy for things to sneak in and hide in shadows. in a white city continually lit, it's a little harder. The shadows aren't as prevalent.
I do like that.
So, I will take your report, and then you can let me read through it, and then we'll talk more.
Okay.
And she starts going through the pages, and I'll pause with you there.
Okay. Sounds wonderful.
Cyril!
Yes.
And Gavanova, the last two together. Where
Yes.
say you head
Yes.
from here? Angel man. An angel and a vampire are walking down a Paladin Street. Sounds like a joke, I'm just saying.
Sounds like good
It
omens.
does.
It does sound like good
Yeah,
omens,
man.
I'm serious. Does that mean a Kavanova is actually a Time Lord? No, I'm just kidding.
Dead man walking.
Okay. Where do you go from there, Sorrel?
Their laws are a little crunching for me. I'm going to go for a walk out the south gate.
Okay, as you're walking out the south... Oh, you're walking all the way to the south gate.
Why is the south gate on the north?
It's because the way I aligned the map.
Okay.
It's not really the north. That is south. It's up... Because the way the words were done on this map, which I thought was stupid... Yeah, they put the north on the top. It's nothing I could say. I flipped the map and I'm like, are you kidding me? I'd like to say I create all the content for my game, but I believe in plagiarizing with pride. We all have actual lives to live, and even plagiarizing takes me 16 hours to write for campaigns a week.
Well, let's see. We're staying at the Lady's Shield here. Yeah, okay. I'll go north to the south gate, and I'll go out.
All you need to say is I'm going to the south gate. How's that? That work?
Okay.
Works for me too. Okay, so
As long as we're all on the same
you
page.
ask Esquire which way is the south gate. He leads you up and around here. You pass by the Watcher's Tor, and you notice because your perceptions are so high, green vines are already growing up the side of the white walls of the Overwatch, and they're already beginning to bloom with roses. As you're walking down the street, you notice most of the archways and most of the alleyways have vines growing within them as well. Not as heavy and not as thick. Look at them more as creeping willow vines or ivy in a sense on the Watcher's Tor. But out here it's a faint vine here and there, but it seems to be somewhere easily noticed by those walking in the streets.
Neat.
You get past the ironworks and you're headed towards the Dead Man's South Gate. And here you can notice that there's a line of what looks like silver and gold etched bricks that actually make up the archway of this side of the gate. You notice that as you walk through the South Gate, you notice that there are no less than 4 ballistas on each side and 2 catapults on each tower as you're exiting across the drawbridge. And so take a look at how long your drawbridge is. It is 300 feet. And it lifts itself with magic in the middle.
Nice.
So you see it coming back down to its archways. You guys walk out here, you look down over what looks like a 50-foot cliff into the river below. You see some areas there's a shore, but not many.
Yeah,
You crossing the bridge over to the other side?
I am.
Okay, as you're hitting the last one, are you leaving the towns? Do you wish to turn in your writs to get back your gear?
I'm just stepping out for a moment. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys get to the other side of the bridge. You can hear some commotion off in the distance. You think there might be a possible inn or maybe a small hamlet?
Okay. I'm just gonna go over like on this other side of this hill,
Okay, easily done.
and then I'm gonna tell young master. What's his name? William?
Esquire William, yes.
Squire. Yep. And Agavas, it's like, well, I couldn't do this in town, so I'm going to do it out here.
Spell casting, sir?
Yes.
I understand, sir. What happens outside of Vigil is not to be reported unless it is a criminal spell of damage and destruction against the town, which I don't think you're doing.
No, as you may have... I don't think you were here before we do. I'm going to do a sending to my cousin. I hope he can help Sir Dak.
Oh, please then, sir. Sodak is one of our best. Okay, I will give you, call it high or low, that Roland has his spell down.
Always high.
And you got it.
Oh,
What do you say? I think you have what now? 20 words? 25 words?
Yeah. Say, Roman, this is Sorrel. Are you at a place I can pick you up? We need your help in Vigil.
Ooh.
offering to Uber as well.
Cool.
Yeah. I hope that part's understood.
That kind of throws a little bit more in the pot.
Yes. Can you carry 2?
Yes.
Wait, he can't answer back without another sending. Sorry.
Oh. I'll do another sending. Yes. Where do you want me to pick you up? And
Willem Broken, Tar Heel Promenade.
You were there a while ago.
I should have known.
So you and Ikabanova going there?
Yeah, and I'll ask young Master William if he would like to come along.
Where are we going?
My old hometown of Karamaga.
Oh, the city full of monsters that live together?
Yes.
I am more than honored. I am so glad Sir Roland gave me this duty. Oh my!
He said,
Yes, I am ready. You know, him being your page, he's your responsibility.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, let me explain Karamaga to you. It is a place that stands because the forces are balanced against each other. We will not fight anybody. We will not need to.
you know, you rolling your dice actually sounds like somebody's kind of strong.
I will not say anything unless instructed by you, sir. I am your page.
Good.
So put
Excellent.
mittens on him like a baby so he
Don't
can't scratch
die.
himself.
Okay.
I'm teleporting.
Touch both of them and Melikuri and Abatha out.
Yep.
Is it a greater teleport or a regular teleport?
How about...
See, this is the fun part because I get to go to the world map and you don't.
You get to do what?
I get to go to the world map for distances and you don't.
This is a greater teleport.
Okay.
Nowhere.
And I'm teleporting to my favorite spot right in front of the picture.
Didn't you sell that apartment though? I think you.
Fuck it out.
I think you sold that fucking apartment, dude. All right, it's 780
Yeah.
miles.
It's in the picture's in Ashida's apartment.
Oh, that's right. You did give it to her. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No more naked dwarves.
Yeah. No more. Oh, no more naked guys with their drunken girlfriends from the bar. Hey, you abandoned the apartment for 2 years, dude. It was public domain.
And I don't even hold it against them. I'm glad a petitioner as Shaylin has it.
There you go. Flash of light, you appear. 25% chance Ashada is home. Actually, 10% because it's during the day. She works at the wheel.
Yeah.
No, she's not home. Flash a light. Ivanova, you appear in a 2-story building made of black stone. It is lightly lit, so if you have dark vision, it is kicking in. You notice that when your dark vision kicks in, that you can see that radioactive paints have been used on the walls to actually give it a unique coloration, and some art has been painted on the walls as well. Otherwise, there are no stairs between the levels. There are only what looks like these kind of levels of flowing architecture. So they're not steps. Go ahead.
I look over and I say, your casual use of greater arcane magic amazes me, my friend. Knowing full well what he just did.
Yeah. Looking at this place, I will give you... Do you have knowledge in engineering?
I don't believe so.
Okay. You could not understand how anybody could live here. There are no beds. There are no chairs, no tables. Nothing like that. But there are these unique ledges like shelves at different weird angles along the walls. You do see a picture of a group of people, though, on a wall. It is the only picture on the wall that's in a painted kind of condition that you would actually have to light a light to see, because it's not done in ultraviolet or infrared kind of colors for you to see with dark vision. Okay. You opening the doors, Sorrel? You know the password. Sorrel?
Oh, I'm talking on mute.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
No. I'm going to ignite my halo in front of the picture and point and say, this is the person we've come to pick up.
You see like 6 people in this picture frame, and he points to one that's wearing, it looks like a feathery chest plate that has a cloak of rainbow feathers on it, standing there with what looks like a glaive. There is some striking resemblances. They both have the kind of golden hair thing going down.
Okay, then...
Open the door?
Yep, I'll make my way out the door.
Okay, you make your sign at the door. Door slides into the wall. You step out. Ivanova, what you see in front of you is you are on the 3rd floor of, imagine an Egyptian city that is a walled city, where the actual houses are carved out of the walls of this black stone with overarching wooden and stone catwalks that span between one side of a road to the other side, which can be in some areas 20 feet, other areas 80 feet wide. These look very rickety, and they look like more of an architect's kind of scaffolding versus actual roadways. But on it and on the streets below, you see trolls walking next to dwarves, walking next to nagas, where you see every once in a while what looks like an ogre lumbering through as well. Nobody's bouncing off of anybody. Every once in a while, you see what looks like undead walking through the street carrying packages.
Sorry. Shut up.
As you look down the roadway in front of you, going off to your left-hand side, you notice that there is a tower carved out of this black obsidian wall. This tower actually it looks like 8 segments, and those segments float on top of each other with a gap of blue magical energy in between. They all seem to rotate in different directions, and you notice that there are bridges of light that go up to the different levels that you wish to go into. You notice that Sorrel is walking right towards one of the levels as well, and you notice he's kind of standing outside of it. Each one of these alcoves in it have what look like a stone statue 10 foot tall of a wizard with his arms crossed. As Sorrel starts to get close, you notice the arms come down to its side. As it moves its arms to its side and its shoulders kind of drop down, you see there is a actual walkway behind it is guarding. And then you hear the booming voice done in tongues, so everyone understands it. Welcome to the Will Unbroken. Speak your interest and I will guide you. Do not cast spells. Do not bring out magic or I will end your existence. Please speak your request. Did you mean to set it off?
No, I was just gonna wait outside and look for.
It's been a while since you've been here. You got too close. It was with, a 30-foot
Oh.
radius thing,
Oh, that's right. Oh,
You step back and he goes back to his arms crossed.
and I'll tell Icavise and William. It's like they're not kidding either.
Understood.
Wow.
You do get a choice. You do get a chance to correct your behavior, but don't try it.
You look down at William and he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's over 20 of those just on this level itself. Are those stone golems?
Yep.
Oh, I've only seen a couple of those over at the War Mage College. They're pretty tough. The Cavaliers like to fight against them just in case. They say they're kind of closer to some of the demonkin that hit the battlefield every once in a while. And their abilities to resist damage, that is. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, you see a few centaurs coming your way. Hey, give way, give way.
I'll move out of their way.
You see them go walking by. You see they're wearing probably some of the factions that's down in the Tar Heel area. Southern Tar Heel. Might be one of those, warrior bands that like to sell themselves out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
I'll say, yeah, centaurs are fairly common here.
You see coming up scaffolding on the other side of the road, you can see that rainbow scintillating cloak almost a quarter mile away, being followed by what looks like a second rainbow scintillating cloak. Only one's carrying a glaive, though.
There he is. I'll start walking towards him.
Okay, you guys meet in a stone crossway bridge. He has his arms open. Sorrel!
Rowan.
I have heard the deeds you have done. Quite impressive.
Thank you.
I thought my times going against the Rune Lord were impressive. You stopped an entire war of hobgoblins, cured a blight, I heard, or curing it, and saved a galstag. A galstag. Not too shabby, bro. Not too shabby. Shaylin, I've heard words. Some of the uppers have said that the actual servants have mentioned your name. Pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. You see walking up Ichabod. This is obviously an Asmir. Standing with a little bit of golden hair, rainbow-colored cloak, wearing what looks like some elven chainmail that actually has celestial patterns whipping through it all over the place. Heavy set of bracers on as well. Carrying this what looks like a white crystalline wood staff that's topped by obviously a mithril glaive head that just sparkles all the way up and down it. The sparkles, though, you feel them stinging lightly inside of you. You can feel that weapon's hatred for anything's even lightly undead. And it's the pain, the uncomfort it's causing you is noticeable to the ones around you. And you see Roland notice it out of his peripheral and goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. I did not know your companion would be a Devir. My apologies. The Ray of Limerin punishes those of undeath, even partially."
You couldn't have known.
He hands
Sorry,
it.
Ichabod.
Completely understandable.
He says,
It's a
"Irene,
powerful enchantment.
well, it's not an enchantment, son. It's an angel that chose to take the form of a weapon to punish any of those that would walk the line of undeath. Its purity knows no bound. Its hatred of that, it is said that it chose this form when it faced Orcus. It knew the only way it was ever going to win in a fight against that forsaken creature was to craft itself into the best weapon light could ever wield against it, thus never being destroyed. You see him look over and he goes, Rolando. Will you please hold Limerin for me? Limerin, please go to Rolando. You watch the glaive slide out of his hand and slide over to the figure standing next to him in the full plate pieces. You feel the uncomfort go away.
I appreciate that.
You are welcome. You look Ustalavian. Not a Mori. Dampier of Mori descent.
I pause for a second. More ancient family line.
I'm sorry for that line. Sorel, you summoned. What is wrong? Sir Dak, you are talking the Procentori of Vigil.
Yes.
I heard he was on the Blighted War Council with you against the Iron Legion, they called it, right?
Yes, he was. He's been gravely injured yes. He has a
Rolando, get us to Vigil now. You see him, you see the other one go, yes, I shall. You see him slap his hands and you watch what looks like a glowing circle appear on the ground, and then you feel yourselves whip through the astral range. You did not hear him say Melikuri Nabatha, and you guys are outside the south gate. You see him take off running, and as he does, you watch white light go underneath him as you watch a horse of white light lift him up off the ground. As white horses lift all of you off the ground as well as he's riding towards the south gate. You hear a doo-doo-doo. You hear, Roman is coming. Roman is coming. You're hearing doo-doo-doo-doo, as it kind of sounds throughout the town as you see people kind of moving to the side as you ride the horses all the way over to the Cathedral of Santa Iomea. As you get to the actual cathedral, the mounts vanish back into the ground gently as you guys are already in. It was weird because your horses stopped. You ran. You had to actually act like you were running for the horses to move you. So you weren't just riding a horse. It did modify your movement by a power of 10. So while you were running, your 30 move went to a 300 move.
Ooh. Like an airport people mover.
Right. So you guys were zipping through town. As you get to the cathedral and you stop and the spell ends, you see a lady standing at the door. I did not expect you back so soon. I did not know Sudak was injured. No one sent word to me. There have been things going on. Things I must tell you about. No. Take me to Sudak. We'll talk about the other things later. Follow me, and you get led down into the bowels. You get down there, and you see, as you come down into the room with about 700, the stench is overwhelming of the rotted flesh. Okay? The gag green and the amputated limbs are stacked to our side, where you see priests are going through a process of trying to do a repose, and also it looks like a cremation process using produce fire as well. Looks like they have some druids helping them. You see the cots lined up, and they fill this entire area. It's almost the size of like a super Walmart, just as a square open area full of cots and injured individuals. You see all the way at the back of it is the tinted off area they gave for Sir Dak. And you notice outside of it, sitting on a little white wooden chair, obviously well asleep, is Empress. Her hands are just dangling. You see she's got her hands are dirty and bloody, like she maybe have done some healing and wound care as well. But it is obviously she is just there passed out from exhaustion. You get up to the rest of it, and you notice that the Sapphire Knight, Celine, is still standing beside her. Very awake, but very exhausted. Who is that? Oh, Empress. She could not heal Sodak? She said there has been things going on you don't know about. Okay, then both of you tell me before I go in there and see Sodak. You prepare me for this. She says Serdak was affronted by what looks like a plague fire negative energy attack. What? Are you telling me the Council Libertine can wield a negative energy burst that's bearing the dark fire burn? No. And you see him push open the curtains as he comes in and he goes, oh my gosh, Shaylin, be blessed. There has to be something we can do. And you begin seeing him incantate and he's doing a heal spell. And he has to roll the percentage to overcome it. Actually, it is a die 20.
Okay, he has stuff to overcome spell resistance.
Yes, he does. You watch as he begins incantating the spells. You guys watch what looks like light white energy and rainbow colors then flicker around his arms as it goes up to his shoulders as he begins doing his healing onto it. But you see it's resisting the heal spell he's trying to get in there. You see him crank down a little bit more as he's doing his blessing and the prayer to Shaylin is coming out. You notice roses begin to blossom all over the walls as you watch a white light and what looks like white wings come out behind him made of ghostly energy. As he's begin calling on higher powers of Shaylin, as you watch the priestess join in, as she starts calling on the patron of light Iomedea's pledge, and she starts singing it as well as she begins casting her spell. As she rolls, augmented by Roman. You watch Iomedea's spell kind of curl back on the priestess herself as you watch her energy and golden energy that was being expelled dissipate as you watch Roland's wings split into 4. And then one more time for 6 wings rolling out the backside of him as he's praying down in here. And you watch the white light and rainbow rosy color sparkle down over Serdak and you watch some of his wounds begin to close. You watch Roman step back, staggering, as you watch white glittering energy mist off of him as his hands are smoking with this white golden light. How? How is this possible?
I don't yet know.
What don't I know about? You see her look up. The Empress told us that they are bearing a bloodstone jar. That the canopic jar itself has been perverted. They think it was by Sethung. Sethung perverted? One of the bloodstones? It has been known for a while the Libertine Council draws some of their energy directly from Azarani. So if that canopic jar was defiled even more by a god, this is why Roland is so harmed. You see him snap. You see him snap around really quickly. Almost loses balance for a second. He's looking at the other fellow, the Taldorian that's with him. Knight in plate mail armor with with rainbow colored feathers coming out of the armor. Says, I need you to return. Give me Limerin. Please step back Ivanova. I need to know if Limerin can help me. Limerin shoots over to his hand. He's holding on to the glaive. Sees like he's in a meditation. The wings have long since dissipated. You see a golden light about him. This will take time. I need access to the vaults. Limerin is telling me that a Rodin had a way of fighting against Sethung long ago, and that there is something within the vaults that may be able to help against this fight against him. We are battling not only Geb and his perversion of what he did to Azarani, but we're fighting against the dark energies of Sethung as well. Is this what was causing the blight, Sorel? Is this what the usurper was wielding that I heard about?
I think so.
It warped dimension and time, didn't it?
Inside of the blight, yes.
I will need Fritz. He handled doing the Oculus when we came across the Rune Lord. He understands these time perversion magics. He is the one who figured out how we could get through the Oculus and get at Rune Lord Kazag and destroy him. I've got to bring him here. But Vigil and him are no friends. They don't see eye to eye on how they approach things.
Tell me what I can do to help.
Do you know anyone that has pull with Zigrol? If Zigrol says we can bring him here, then Fritz can come here and help us. What I'm hoping is Fritz understands what's going on with the manipulation. I had watched him do many time stops before. That power is beyond me, but maybe he has the ability to manipulate a time stop so that we could work within it. I don't know. Limrin is saying that it is time-like arcane magics that I need to understand that Arodin used. Or Ezrani, one of the two. Limrin is being quite cryptic. And I don't know
But I can
why.
cast Time Stop if you need.
I
But if you want your...
I understand,
your,
but Fritz faced a Rune Lord. I think his skill in arcane is a little stronger than yours.
then Fritz you shall have.
But it will still take time. Let's work on one thing, finding access to Zigrol and who could help us hold sway with him. And if we can get special compensation for Fritz to do some work inside the town. He looks over, we may have to move Surdak out of the Santa Iomea into the War College and possibly over there so that we could do these things. Is that okay with Iomea? I will pray tonight and find her blessings. And she will tell me. Either her or she'll speak through Empress. One of the two. Yeah, Empress is over there like really sawing some logs, guys. Yeah, that's the way she slept on the road too. It's like, it was hard doing watches when she slept.
Fuck you both.
You couldn't hear the fucking monster sneaking up with that fucking buzzsaw. It's monsters out there! No, that's Empress sleeping.
Brian gave me pointy arrows for Christmas.
Let's, at this point, Sorrel, I'm here working on this. I know there's other things you are working on. Are they something to do with the Bloodstone, then? And the perversion of Sithung? Is that why you're here?
Yes.
So your divinational magics led you here as well?
Multiple things, yes.
Then it's going to take a combined effort. We will figure this out. There's nothing more I think we can do today.
Good. I need to start working on my Short and Sealed so I can get access to the vault myself.
Yes, that is imperative. Absolutely imperative. I would suggest you go to... let me just take you. Follow me. And you guys leave Santa Iomea. As you're coming around from Santa Iomea, and you're heading to the main gate of the Watcher's Tour, you notice that the roses have all bloomed on this side of the building. Literally hundreds of thousands of roses are climbing up the sides of the walls, the white walls of the castle. As you get to here, you see Roman and you notice the guards part. You're responsible. Yes, I'm responsible. As he walks up here. Thank you for your concern. He turns. Thank you for your concern. And you guys come in here and walk over to the side where you saw the mages working at. And Roland begins asking. She is not here.
Is there something with a Marauders map?
No, there is no Marauders map.
Okay.
He's going to try to do this. He can't do this under. He knows he can't. Okay. You see him go into one of the buildings. Wait here for me, please. He steps into a building. You see another figure come out. She'll be here soon. Thank you. About a minute goes by. Maybe less. Guess who's burning some of their prestige points? Just saying. Alrighty-o. I got to roll for. Hiram comes walking out of the building. Roman, you look quite distressed. I will let you speak first. Roman explains, I was just over at the Santa Iomea, and I did see what's going on with Sir Deck. Yes, we've been working on that diligently. It is very resistant to healing. No. Let me explain. What I have seen is it appears that there is a alteration field around Sir Deck's wounds. We believe it's caused by the spell Fire, Plague. But he does not have symptoms. I understand that. Nonetheless, it is what I have seen. It was shown to me by Limerin. Oh. Then this is part of the Sithunian curse. Yes. You know that they travel with Darmus, one who is already blighted by the Sithunian curse inside the Spellfire. Yes. Yes, I am aware of that, but that won't help us. The problem is part of the Sithunian curse is causing an abjurational field which is warping the dimensional barriers around the wounds. That's why they're not healing. Time is incredibly slow at the wound. Oh. Time manipulation magics are not my forte. No, they're not. They're Fritz's. Fritz cannot come back to Vigil after what happened the last time. You know they were shoveling snow out of the Wizards Guild area for over a fucking week with the prank he pulled. I understand. But Zigrol understands from the Eye of Avarice when we face the Rune Lord. He's the only other mage I know walking this world that could understand that level of magics. Do you have another to suggest? Do you? No, not that will come to our heading over Sodak, that owes him any tribute. He knows of Sodak, but Sodak didn't do him any favors. So, in fact, the only other mage I can think of, they clashed. Much like Fritz. Why would you think Fritz would help? Because I'm going to ask him nicely to. Oh, okay. But right now, Sorrel needs to work on getting his sword. I imagine standard rotation? Yes, Sorrel, you'll have to 10 classes for 16 hours a day. You will train for 8 of those hours, overlooking the acolytes as they are doing simple spell targeting and augmented fighting capabilities when working with a group, using how to combine spells for better effects, i.e. how well Ice Storm works with grease spells, those types of things. How to understand when and when not to actually use push-like modifications inside of spells so that you can admixture them and cause extra damage. You willing to take on these classes and help the students? You understand what she's talking about.
Yep, willingly, I do.
You start immediately. They're in the hall. Their studies right now are on admixture studies. They need to understand that the radius of the admixture modification ability of some of the specialty school wizards only go out about 30 feet around them. They really need help judging some of those distances for the younger students. The older students understand the ranges quite well, but the younger ones, they keep falling out of the 30-foot radius, and they're still shooting regular lightning bolts at creatures that are immune to lightning. So they've got to learn the ranges. It's going to be hurting cats.
I just had a refresher in 30 feet.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah. Icavus will need to get his stuff too.
Is you a caster?
He's a monk, I believe.
Ah.
Yeah.
Then I would recommend that he go back over and talk to Sir Roland. I believe another group is headed out to one of the castles within a week. He could go with them.
That sounds good.
You see,
That's where I'm needed.
You see her do the same thing you saw Roland do. 2 snaps, a snap from her other hand, and a clap, and you watch one of her students run up and go, I'll take him to Roland.
Good luck, my friend.
You guys split up, and you get started on duties.
Yep.
As you're walking by, you see her talking with Roman for a second, and Roman goes, "Wait, Sorrel, where is Kitty LeBang?"
She's over at the, I would assume the Pathfinders Guild.
If anybody could soothe the angry spirit of Varel, it would be Kitty. So maybe we can get Kitty to go talk to Varel. Varel knows Zagrol, and Kitty's the only one that might be able to get into Greenleaf and Quionen, where Varel is at. And if Varel is swayed, Varel will come and talk to Zagrol. I can't think of anyone else. Because both of those knew Roland very well. They both knew Reynard very well. And if Kitty can apply to what Reynard did and explain that's what Sir Dak was doing when he was injured, then that will maybe warm that cold-ass fucking heart of Varel and get her to help. Roman's like,
Yeah.
A Kitty LeBang. I've heard of her. Pathfinders Guild?
Mhm.
I'll head there myself. And at that, Roman takes off. Ooh, you all got missions. Look at you. Okay, at this point, we're already at the stop time. You guys are going to start doing your mundane things for the next couple of weeks. I may ping you guys over the next 2 weeks before the game if there's anything interesting that in my story writing, I want to resolve and ask you guys how you would handle a certain circumstance. I'll reach out to you individually, have those answers before we game again. Probably when we start gaming again, a week or two will have passed. And we'll keep doing this. The first time's going to be slower, obviously, because it's the first 2 weeks getting your marks that you're wanting to get for being in Vigil. If it's longer than that period of time, because I can't do the die roll until you get the marks of access first. And then once I do that, then you guys can start the research. Understand there is also a role I'm doing for the Council of Libertine discovering where you're at. Right now, because you are using greater magics, that is cloaking a lot of what you're doing, Sorrel. So it's not a knowledge, it is not a knowledge history or knowledge local for me to know where you're at. So my knowledge local is still very high to know that you've left Kragradan. And until I can get information on what's going on, or actually one of the Council of Libertine enter Kragradan, unless you do something major, I'm still going to think you're there. Since Find the Past's not working.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you all. I hope you had a great time. I had fun.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you later.
Have a great time. See you in 2 weeks. Bye.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Great session, man. You guys, thanks for playing.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, we might try Gloomhaven later tonight on Steam.
Try what?
Gloomhaven later tonight on Steam. Me and Colleen.
Yep, I'm in.
Cool, man. Either that or we'll do ESO. Later, Gators.
Bye,
Later.
guys.
Later.